Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Brooke's cocky grin breaks. Ridge informs desperate Logan that it's permanently over. Spoilers for Bold and Beautiful: Brooke Logan's last-ditch efforts to win Ridge back end in disaster. As Ridge remains firm with Taylor, her pitiful pleading and manipulating techniques backfire, leaving a devastated Brooke to deal with the fallout. When Ridge selects Taylor for good, Brooke's smile breaks. It's obvious what Ridge Forrester is going to choose, and it's not Logan Beauty. The moment we have all been waiting for is expected to arrive in tomorrow's show. In Issues of the Heart, Ridge Forrester has a reputation for vacillating between two women. However, sources confirm that in tomorrow's blockbuster episode, Brooke Logan's arrogant confidence is going to be broken into a million tiny pieces as Ridge finally makes his decision permanent. The desperate pleas of Brooke fail miserably. For weeks, Brooke has been certain that she can magically mend their relationship by pressing her body against Ridge and batting those eyelashes. She essentially begged him to come back to her yesterday in a final, desperate effort to win him back. However, our inside sources claim that Ridge will ruthlessly end her attempts tomorrow and make it clear to her that he is picking Taylor Hayes. Brooke could not have been more humiliated by this rejection. Brooke has been more concerned with getting Ridge back in her bed than with helping her daughter, Hope Logan, who is on a downward spiral, after she allowed her to try a botched coup at Forrester Creations with Carter Walton. What about priorities gone awry? Brooke's well-known confidence will disintegrate in front of us as Ridge breaks the heartbreaking news. A terrible reality check is about to be delivered to the woman who has always thought she could snap her fingers and have Ridge scamper for cover. A health crisis for Taylor brings Ridge closer. Taylor's recent health issue is a contributing factor in Ridge's choice. As viewers are aware, Taylor first thought she had heart failure before receiving a diagnosis of broken heart syndrome. Ridge rushed to her side after receiving this startling diagnosis, determined to support her during this trying time. They have developed a stronger link as a result of their private chakra healing sessions, which Brooke mistook when he entered the room. However, these sessions symbolized Ridge and Taylor re-establishing an emotional connection that Brooke just cannot match. They were about more than just physical intimacy. Ridge has always loved being Taylor's guardian because of her vulnerability. Taylor has demonstrated to Ridge that their bond transcends physical desire, in contrast to Brooke, who is more preoccupied with her personal demands. The actions of Hope push the ride farther away. Not to mention that Brooke and Ridge aren't exactly fond of Hope's recent actions. Ridge is now firmly in Taylor's corner as a result of Hope's failed coup attempt at Forrester Creations, her termination after being discovered in lingerie with Finn Finnegan, and her subsequent romance with Carter. The distance between Brooke and Ridge has only grown as a result of her justification of her daughter's unacceptable behavior. Brooke has allowed Hope's worst tendencies to flourish, resulting in what some are referring to as a monster, while Taylor has been preoccupied with mending and family. Let's face it, what sort of mother would put more effort into getting her ex back than helping her daughter through such a trying time? Never before have Brooke's priorities been so dubious. Just the start of a new era? According to production-related sources, Ridge and Brooke's confrontation tomorrow will go down in history. When Brooke learns her regular strategies won't work this time, her smug smirk will burst into a million pieces. It's obvious that this isn't simply another short-term reunion because Ridge and Taylor even intend to move back into the beach house together. It looks as though Ridge is finally making a long-term decision after decades of back and forth. Longtime watchers are aware that nothing in soap opera land is ever really permanent, of course. But for the time being, at least, Brooke will have to deal with the fallout from her choices and observe as the guy she believes is meant for her starts a new life with a different woman. Will Brooke learn her lesson at last? Or will she become even more determined to get Ridge back at any cost as a result of this rejection? There's little doubt that the expression on her face when Ridge breaks the news to her will be priceless. Ridge leaves Taylor alone once more. The Bold and the Beautiful is reliving history. Ridge Forrester felt deceived by his beloved Brooke Logan a few months back when she failed to support him during a corporate takeover. When Carter Walton took over Forrester Creations, Brooke accepted his offer to become CEO, which Ridge claims destroyed their relationship. Within a day or so, he left Brooke and jumped into bed with his ex, Taylor Hayes. But it wasn't just a moment of weakness. Ridge and Taylor soon resumed their future plans. Under the present, the business is once again under his control, and there is essentially nothing separating Ridge and Brooke. Ridge has been forgiven by Brooke, and she wants him back. Brooke has expressed her emotions. Although Ridge's actions have harmed her, she is willing to make amends with him. He does this every few years, after all. After becoming enraged with Brooke, he flees to Taylor, who eventually beckons him back. Ridge then becomes disinterested and demands his Logan back. Rinse, wash, and repeat. Brooke pleaded for a reconciliation with Ridge in a private conversation just minutes after her daughter was sacked from Forrester Creations. He responded by giving her a kiss. It will happen even if he takes his time mending their friendship. Taylor's heart is about to be broken by Ridge once more. When Taylor initially came home last summer, she believed she had heart failure and was dying. Ridge assisted her in recovering from broken heart syndrome, which showed out to be her genuine condition. Despite being aware of the dangers and Ridge's past behaviors, Taylor was excited to get back into bed with him after claiming that she didn't need a partner or a relationship to be happy. She is unaware that he is sneaking back to Brooke, and this time around, the heartache will probably be much more devastating. Ridge will have to end his relationship with Taylor as soon as he makes the decision to return home to Brooke, and both events are approaching. Do you believe Ridge will make an effort to postpone seeing Brooke again for even a short time? Daphne attacks Carter while Ridge must decide between Taylor and Brooke. According to Wednesday, March 26 spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Daphne Rose will attack Carter Walton, while Ridge Forrester will have to decide between Taylor Hayes and Brooke Logan. Now that Brooke has informed Ridge of one important fact, Ridge will have to make a decision at Forrester Creations. Ridge must choose who he wants to spend the rest of his life with because he cannot have both Brooke and Taylor. Of course, the idea that Ridge will truly live out the rest of his life with the decision he makes is absurd. On Wednesday's B&B episode, Ridge will choose a woman, but that's just not his style. To be honest, Ridge doesn't appear all that moved by Brooke's cries for them to regain what they've lost. On some level, Ridge will always love Brooke, but he's stuck on her treachery and has now recommitted to Taylor. It appears that Ridge will maintain that Taylor is the one he wants to be with in light of everything mentioned above. While Taylor rejoices in capturing Ridge's affection, at least temporarily, Brooke might experience the agonizing pain of rejection. According to other teasers for Bold and the Beautiful, Daphne will attack Carter and Hope he's prepared to let go of Hope Logan, Annika Noel. Carter would be feeling quite depressed as he briefs Daphne on the situation because Hope stated that their relationship was ended. Regardless of Hope's feelings, Daphne will reassure Carter that he made the correct decision in restoring Forrester control. Now that Carter is not influenced by Hope, Daphne will foretell that he will have a bright future. Daphne would probably give Carter another kiss after telling him that he deserves more than Hope. It seems likely that they will wind up in another lip lock because B&B spoilers suggest that Daphne will make a love move at Carter. Carter should value Daphne's support regardless of whether he's prepared to move on. Stay tuned as Daphne tries to convince Carter to join her in seeing a way forward. Ridge's romantic choice and Daphne's audacious move. Here are the spoilers for Wednesday, March 26, 2025's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Daphne Rose approaches Carter Walton in tomorrow's episode. Ridge Forrester, meantime, must decide between Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes. Carter Walton is devastated. Fans may anticipate Carter's complete heartbreak on Wednesday, March 26. Carter wanted to stay with Hope Logan, but he also chose the Forrester family. Carter made an effort to convince his girlfriend that this could be a test. Hope, however, felt he was a traitor and had betrayed her, therefore she was unable to stay with him. Hope will hear Carter's entreaties, but eventually he should just turn around and leave the cabin. Daphne Rose's audacious step. Carter will most likely appear devastated when he returns to Forrester Creations. The COO is likely informed by Ridge and Steffi Forrester Finnegan that he would be better off without Hope. That doesn't help his damaged heart, though. Daphne will probably step in at that point. The idea that Daphne will approach Carter is hinted at. As Carter discusses his bewilderment and anguish, the nose will most likely pay attention. But Daphne might also fervently console the COO. The unsuitable appeal of Brooke Logan. According to tomorrow's spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke just delivered her impassioned case. But Taylor cut me off. Brooke is now pressuring Ridge to decide between Taylor and herself. Ridge and Brooke never got back. It wasn't the other way around, Brooke really planted that kiss on him. Ridge has already decided on Taylor, so he has no other option. The choice made by Ridge Forrester. Ridge made an intriguing disclosure to Brooke, even though he had already made his decision. Ridge said that the betrayal was the reason he never questioned Brooke's love for him. Does that imply that he still has feelings for Brooke? Does that imply that his love for Taylor is less than Brooke's? Given that he is dating Taylor rather than Brooke, it was an intriguing comment to make. Therefore, the blonde may take advantage of that and attempt to get Ridge to return to her. The difficulty is that Ridge will face even more issues than he already does if he decides to return to Brooke. Steffi seems to make all the decisions even though he is an adult. Hope breaks, BNB's new dark villain emerges? This week on Bold and the Beautiful, Hope Logan is at her lowest point and has nothing left to lose. As a result, she will be searching for someone to blame and seeking retribution. Will she do everything in her power to obtain it? We're going to discuss the potential that Hope could completely transform into a villain after Steffi Forrester fired her and Carter Walton upheld their choice. Bold and Beautiful, Carter's decision and Steffi's betrayal lead to Hope's demise. Alright, so Steffi simply cut Hope off after reading her for dirt. And dismissed her from Forrester Creations once more. Additionally, Brooke Logan attempted to stop it, but she had little influence over Steffi, Eric Forrester, or Ridge Forrester. Then, despite Hope's pleas for him to accompany her out, Carter stayed at FC with the Forresters rather than supporting her. Hope didn't care when Carter told her that this was how he made a living. Hope snapped and ran out. Carter tried to save things by following her home, but Hope left him and labeled him another letdown. And a second man who deceived her. Carter believes that since their relationship existed before the LLC, it shouldn't matter if he destroys the documents. Hope, however, is shoving him away. The fact that Carter was being exploited for what he could do for Hope, at least partially, if not entirely, but perhaps 50-50, should have raised a serious red signal for him. Bold and Beautiful, Carter's predicament, a French temptation and Hope's rejection. Carter is also drawn to Daphne Rose, which is another issue. Additionally, she plans to approach him this week. The French woman might have Carter in her arms if Hope continues to reject him. And before long, on her bed. The first problem is that Hope does not currently have a career. She has no college degree and has only ever worked at Forrester. She's not a designer, either. She serves as both the brand name and the muse for a line. Since my mom was married to and had an affair with the business owner, I doubt Hope can create a resume that highlights her best abilities as nepotism. She had challenges in her love life in addition to her work. It appears that Carter has left. And that implies that he will be simply another man to disappoint her, as Liam Spencer has done numerous times. Hope Logan's breaking point on BNB, Brooke's betrayal. Hope is having a terrible week, and to top it all off, something unexpected happens. Hope's rock and the one person who has always supported her is Brooke. This week, that all changes as Brooke lashes out at Hope, saying, "I don't feel sorry for you until you accept responsibility." Brooke's rage at Ridge's refusal to make amends may be contributing to this. And continuing this week with Taylor Hayes. In essence, Brooke informs Ridge that because he is once again the CEO, it is time to return home, get together, and move Taylor aside. It's not occurring, in my opinion. Hope may be blamed by a very irate Brooke for pushing Carter toward the coup, which Brooke believes led Ridge to Taylor, and this is probably true. Hope doesn't believe she did anything wrong, which is another factor contributing to Brooke's outburst. Hope remains unwavering. Despite the fact that Hope for the Future's numbers were in the tank, she continues to hold Steffi accountable for her unjust termination. Hope was aware that the line would be AED if she didn't draw them up. Several individuals, including Carter, Steffi, Ridge, Eric, and others, told her that repeatedly. Hope now accuses Carter of allowing Steffi to fire her. However, Hope will not take accountability for any of these repercussions of snatching Forrester from its owner. It's kind of crazy that Hope still doesn't believe she done anything wrong. Because Hope makes an effort to be a good girl, even when she occasionally fails, Brooke has been able to defend her up to this point. The dark development of Hope, from good girl to possible villain. Hope has been on this downward spiral, some kind of, I don't know, evil development, ever since she kissed Thomas Forrester and then climbed into his bed, ruining her marriage. After that, Hope overthrew Carter. And was making a big deal out of the Forresters. She has started acting more irrationally. Additionally, he has made less moral choices and shown less remorse for them. The huge turnaround where Hope declares, you know, screw it, being good never got me anything, may occur soon after Brooke chews Hope another one. Are you familiar with the proverb, good girls go to heaven, bad girls go everywhere? Was it said by Mae West? As a result, Hope might opt to simply break bad on Bold and the Beautiful. Will Hope accept her dark side on BNB due to Deacon's influence? We are aware that there will be numerous moments with Deacon Sharp and Hope, who she goes to following Brooke's tirade. Hope, Deacon, and Sheila Carter will therefore be at Il Giardino. Additionally, that places Hope in the orbit of crazy Luna Nozawa and perhaps Remy Price. That's a huge group of bad guys who all say they're deemed, but I'm not sure. Hope might be joining this group of criminals if she chooses to go all out and commit horrible acts as retaliation. We saw Sheila, Hope, and Luna, among others, banding together against Steffi because they didn't like her. Hope might embrace her dark nature to the fullest. And get her retribution by banding together with all the BNB villains. That sounds like a lot of fun. Possible plots of revenge, Hope, Sheila, and Luna join forces against Steffi. Daddy Deacon might choose to assist Hope in punishing Brooke for abandoning her during the coup and firing. And her separation from Carter. Hell, Hope might decide she no longer wants to reside in the cabin on Brooke's land. She might shove Brooke away, take Beth, and approach Deacon. I mean, Hope needs a lair if she's going full villain. She might even tell Brooke that she should have accepted Deacon's proposal rather than pursuing Ridge, who consistently flirts with Taylor, and throw Ridge sticking with Taylor in her face. Hope might give Brooke a sarcastic, see where that got you, kind of remark. It would be advantageous for all of them if Sheila and Luna conspired with Hope to pull Finn away from Steffi. Was Steffi terrified? Since Hope would be Finn's new gal pal and he wouldn't be prohibited from visiting Luna and Sheila, as well as possibly get to see baby Hayes, Finn's mother and daughter would wish to replace Steffi with her. With Luna's assistance, I could definitely see Hope and Sheila intimidating Steffi and possibly enticing Remy to join them. He used his internet skills to send Steffi threatening texts or to do some cunning photoshopping, not nude, like he did with Electra Forrester's deepfakes, but enough to make Steffi appear dubious, perhaps by suggesting that she is using drugs once more or is approaching Liam too closely, or something similar. And we'll have to wait and see. Bold and Beautiful, a welcome shift to the dark side for Hope's future? Hope could collaborate, plan, and carry out retaliatory operations with Luna and Sheila if they do decide to plot, as long as they ensure that the potential suspects have genuine alibis. Have Remy or Hope perform certain actions, you know, as they could be able to go unnoticed and lead people to believe it was Luna and Sheila. With Hope spending so much time with Deacon in the near future, I believe they could actually make something happen. Things may be moving in this direction. I'd be thrilled to witness it firsthand. If you would, please let me know in the comments. Perhaps it's refreshing to watch Hope simply accept it. To evolve into a full-fledged villain, and for Deacon to revert to his darker side, but this time with his daughter on his side. Deacon's attempt to become a better man was initially motivated solely by Hope. Additionally, I believe it would be awesome to watch them all break bad simultaneously. Steffi needs to keep it a secret, Carter's fix is ineffective. As Carter Walton's attempt to reconcile things with Hope Logan failed, Steffi Forrester was under pressure to keep a secret, according to the Bold and the Beautiful recap for Tuesday, March 25. Hope ridiculed Carter for picking a seat at the Forrester table over her at the cabin and maintained that he couldn't fix what he had damaged. Hope rejected Carter's request for forgiveness and an admission that their plan was flawed. Hope believed Carter had become fond of Daphne Rose after she accused him of cheating with her, and she allowed her to enter his thoughts. Hope was shocked that Carter simply stood by while she was degraded and slandered, even though he wanted to move on from all of this. Hope made it apparent that whatever they had discussed was now over because of this. Taylor Hayes joined Daphne and Steffi at Forrester Creations' design office. Taylor made the decision to interrupt after learning of Brooke Logan's private moment with Ridge Forrester. Daphne only asked for one thing in return after Steffi thanked her for all of her assistance in reaching Carter. Steffi figured it was because Daphne had really fallen for Carter, who she stressed could never learn of their covert scheme. On Tuesday's B&B episode, Brooke persisted in her appeal to Ridge at the main office, believing that their love would triumph over all obstacles. Brooke wanted to move on, even though he was hurt that Ridge had turned to Taylor so quickly and that he felt betrayed over the CEO situation. Brooke played up how much they missed each other, and just as Taylor showed there, she leaned in for a private moment with Ridge. Taylor believed this to be Brooke's final, last-ditch effort to get back together with Ridge, but she didn't think it would work. Taylor reassured Brooke that Ridge and Taylor were once again committed. Brooke and Ridge had a love that she wasn't prepared to let go of. Brooke encouraged Ridge to make a decision on who he would spend the rest of his life with since she understood that he couldn't have both of them. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge will have to make his own decision. Watch to see what he decides and whether he makes any predictions about the future.